Hello, welcome to another one of my videos. This is going to be number 3 of the Just an Alignment series. I haven't posted for a while, so that is my fault. My tongue has a cold sore, and it actually kind of still hurts to speak, and my words have a strange, I don't know, a dull to it, or just not proper. It doesn't sound necessarily right, but I think it's better now. Now, the series is dedicated towards just general alignment of what I guess the collective energies are, or rather, more just how to maintain oneself in these times in which we live in, which aren't anything necessarily terrible, but something where you do have to pay some attention to and at least try to orientate yourself in a proper manner so you can become the best individual that you can be, because that's is the goal. So, from my point in my life, I have been noticing, and it's always been something in which I've done, which I sometimes forget to do, but then remember to do, is the act of becoming mindful. And more than the act of becoming mindful, catering mindfulness with stillness. Now, if people who don't know what mindfulness is a practice which is incorporated. I can't think of his name, but there's a psychologist. I think he was a clinical psychologist, and he kind of had a particular approach. Something Sabat something. But anywho, he cultivated this rubric, which is composed of 8 steps. And these 8 steps have, I guess, kind of like, they deliver you to a state of peace, of a state of almost awareness, but calm awareness. And one of the steps is mindfulness. Now, mindfulness you might associate with perhaps Buddhism. Mindfulness may come from, or might spark different, just kind of like associations in your brain. But if I were to sum associations all together into one kind of general description of mindfulness, I would say it's like the ability to see something, see it in your mind's eye, but then allow it to pass. And then the next thing, whether you see something or not, you see, and then you let it pass. You see, and then you let it pass. It's like the mind's breathing. If the mind could breathe, though the mind breathes, it doesn't breathe, right? When the lungs breathe, but hopefully that kind of like makes a better sense of what mindfulness is. And that participation of mindfulness, constant participation, helps, I guess, put me on the right track and the right center, the right alignment in today's day and age of the speed and the summer. We got to say it's summertime. And summertime, everybody's going crazy. Everybody's losing their mind. The heat is destroying your brain, and you're getting microwaved by ultraviolets. Like, the summer is a crazy time, and there's no better time to practice mindfulness than now. So the alignment would be to remember to practice your mindfulness. And I dare say, pair mindfulness with stillness. Now, stillness, if I were to give, associations grouped into one basic kind of like understanding for us to consider, stillness is the act of almost no action. It's when you stop and feel almost the presence of your being, the presence of your feet grounding and everything, but without actually drawing attention to it, just almost stopping. It's like if you were running, you had nice momentum going, then you just stop. the world and everything feels so still. The momentum of who you are and what you're doing becomes still. And then the world just changes the hue, it changes the frequency, it changes the wavelength. Because imagine you're going through the day, now another example, and you're working, and you just don't stop. But if you stop just for 1 second and incorporate that stillness, the intentionality of just stopping, very intentionally, very consciously, just stopping everything, then you gain a different quality of the fabric of life, which carries within you through the recognition of that stillness, of kind of more calming, I want to say calming aura that you now bring to life because you cultivated some time in your day to become still. Now imagine you try to find moments of stillness in your life, but then you also try and pair your stillness with mindfulness. Then you have the act of allowing things to pass by with your mind's eye, just allowing things to pass. And then you also have other moments in your day where you're just stopping and just finding your center almost, but without trying to trying to do it too much, like trying to find it through a video or anything that you may try to do something to find your center with. Could be anything. Everyone has their own thing, but those two things are what I have been doing, which helps me tremendously to ground. And at least the times and the cycles if you track the planets and you know where the planets are and their transitions, then you would know that now is a good time to just also as well, if you're into, the planets and whatnot, to just remember to find ground and to remember to find yourself again and again and again. Even if it seems childishly boring, you should still try to find, or at least cultivate, have that readily accessible, position in your body just there. And as soon as you do that, I swear to you, you will find yourself walking into rooms more together. You'll be able to handle situations with a bit more clarity. You will just see the life and you'll be able to act in harmony with nature without having too much disruption from nature. And you'll just feel better. I don't know what to say. I think that's it. I can't say it better than that. Keep in mind, I just tell you these things in hope that they help you. I'm not trying to be a salesman who's trying to sell you mindfulness and stillness. I simply just speak it because I know that it works for me and that I know that it helps align. But don't feel too obligated to do it exactly how I say it. You can look it up if you want. Looking it up would probably be cool, but I mean, I gave pretty much the basic, gist of it. So if someone were to ask, you could say what I say, and they'd be like, yeah, you probably know. Yeah. So, yeah. But I think I really try to stress that adopt stillness and mindfulness to your own being. Don't try to live by the example set by others or even I. You essentially will always have to find your own mindfulness and you'll always have to find your stillness. And that act of finding it almost is its own pursuit, which could be pleasurable or maybe it'll be tedious, like having to work out or do dishes. But whatever it may be for you, I believe in my earnest of my soul that it would probably give you a better sense of alignment of perhaps your higher self, your best self, the one that isn't so primordially driven by lower, let's say, things, but more so, let's say, dare I say, divinely positioned, or maybe just more peacefully positioned, or more correctly aimed towards something that's good rather than something that's completely just not good. And if you do what I say, then perhaps, I don't know. No, don't let me go off on that rant. No. You don't have to do what I say. But if you do what I say, perhaps something good will arise. I can't guarantee anything. I'm not Santa Claus, but I just have a good feeling. Mindfulness and stillness, those two things, they're like pillars in these times. If you stand by pillars, they don't even move against the wind. They're just carved from stone, completely grounding. Nothing can move them. A lightning bolt could hit them and probably still nothing would happen because they'll still stand. Because these practices, they last as long as you put your involvement into them. And that's a powerful statement because it means they only gain more grounded the more times you do it. Just like anything that you do in life. So that's the pivot in which I was trying to, kind of like not, well, that I wanted to elaborate to you instead of going down the route that I was going to go down, because I think the way I just described it as the pillars is a way better way to place it than what I was going to say. I had to bite my own tongue. It's probably why my tongue got a cold sore on it, because I'd be speaking too much and blabbering in my ways. But I tend to blabber in my ways, and that's just I. So what can I say? I like talking, but I'm holding everything back now. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. I hope I gave something worth your time, something that maybe changed, sculpted your view of the world maybe a little bit differently, but more so just to make your day a little bit better. Simply that. I'll see you again. I'll try to post more. My tongue is healing, so I'll be able to speak. So, yeah. See you.